Welcome back to Doyle.Lechner Art. I'm Sam. Thanks for coming along today and watching my video. So this is the last in my little series of the town park frog. It's been enjoyable. I've liked doing this picture. I hope you've enjoyed watching me doing the picture. We're having some wonderful summer days at the moment in Germany, and all of the summertime flowers are extremely beautiful and inspiring. So I ask you to sit back, relax with a cup of tea or whatever it is that you do drink, and watch me paint. Enjoy. The dots that I tend to do on my painting, I do place a lot of them myself. I feel that they do add a little bit of atmosphere to the picture, and sort of ambience that I try to go for. On this picture there was lots of specks of light, reflections of light on both the frog and the water itself, and I do flick the brush sometimes to try and capture different sized points, and I love to do with different colours as well, but I do place a lot of the points myself, so that I have a better control over the whole thing. But here I use a combination of both, and I will use a few different colours. As you can see, I tend to go back to this frog's eye again and again. It's something that bugs me throughout the picture. I can't quite capture what it is that I wanted to. It happens sometimes, it can't quite get what we want, but when I realise I'm not getting quite what I want, I leave it, go away, do something else, and then try and come back to it again. So my first points for colours that I use extra is red. I'm using it because it's an opposite colour to green, and I want to use that balance, that opposite of colours within the picture, to bring the colours in contrast against each other and that they can bounce from each other. I don't usually use colours straight from the watercolour pans. It's something that I was taught not to do, but sometimes I just want that intensity of pigment that I can only get when I use straight from directly from the pan. Something that I was taught at art school was never to use direct colours, and even if you use the colour that's in there, you should always add a little bit of a different colour, and that makes a nicer colour. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. With watercolours, I think there's such a wide range of colours now. You can do whatever you wish and do whatever that you feel comfortable with, and I feel comfortable with this. if you find yourself wanting to do some of these types of small dots on your work, I personally always found using a long thin brush the best way to hold pigment, that you've got enough paint to create them, and that they create different sizes when you tap on the top and not on the bottom. So another way you can do it is to tap the brush against your finger so you hit the brush on the bottom, but I've always found it easier to tap from the top and create different size dots. Yes, the frog's eye is calling me back to it again, and I'm feeling the need to work on it. I think my biggest problem with this eye was that I was never using the correct brush. I needed an extremely thin brush, but I need to go and buy some new brushes, and I think that would have helped me greatly with my conquest of trying to get this frog's eye to represent what it is that I wanted and to look like the frog's eye. I come back to it again and again, but I feel like I do get it in the end. I was taught at art school always to move our colours around the canvas or around the page that we're working upon. So that's what I tend to do. I tend to move my colours and to include the colours that I may be using in the frog into the background, into the foreground a little bit. Not to the extent that it would maybe flatten my picture, but to hopefully bring a harmonious balance between all the colours on the canvas or the page. That said, I can't believe I didn't see that I hadn't painted this little frog's, what would that be, a foot? His hand. So yeah, I couldn't believe I missed that totally, looking at everything. But hey, it's painted now, and I think it's okay. It's a little hand under the water. Sometimes little details can escape you, but as long as we get them all at the end, that's okay. So I'm taking out this yellow colour now just to give it a bit of a wipe out. I'm mixing so many colours together that my pans of colour are starting to get a little bit dirty, and this yellow that I have, I got a little bit of green paint into it and wasn't giving me a good yellow anymore. So just nip that problem in the bud and take the pan out, give it a bit of a wipe, and then I can use him again to mix my colours. This little frog's starting to make me think of a little frog who lives in a fantasy fairy land, and it's making me think of the Frog Prince tale, especially using the yellow colour now, which is like gold. I'm starting to wonder if deep within these waters there's a golden ball that a princess has let fall inside by accident. So back to this eye again, and I'm giving myself a stern talking to and reminding myself to paint what I see and not what I think I see or what I think it should look like. I'm giving my best to observe my reference material and to do what is there, not what I think maybe should be there and would look cute. Was cute though, and he did have lots of speckles of light from the water on his back. So here he is, the finished frog painting. I'm pleased with the overall effects and everything in the picture, and his eye, of course. I'd just like to thank you for watching, for your support, and ask if you could maybe like and subscribe. That would be great. Have a great week, and I will see you next week with the next picture.